Hi everybody, I'm Claire from Rainbow Acrylics. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm about to do rainbow straight pour piece, not a rainbow layered up rainbow cup and then poured out as a straight pour, but actually 6 different puddles of the rainbow colours. So really bright, bold, individual puddles of paint as straight pours, and then I'm going to tilt it out. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a bit crazy. So let me show you the colours I've chosen. There are a lot of colours. It's taken me ages to mix everything and get to this point. So let me show you. Just look at all these colours. I'm afraid there's too many to list them all, but only just to say I've used a lot of Pebeo Studio Acrylics colours and a lot of Amsterdam colours. So you can see I've got a row of 4 cups of violets, greens, pinky colours, turquoise colours, reddy orange colours and blues. What I decided, I've got a lot of the rainbow here, but the reds, oranges and yellows, I just didn't want to have 3 separate puddles, so I just combined them all here. And some of the turquoises I originally had with the blues and the greens, but I like turquoise in its own right, so I wanted to do a turquoise puddle. And then I wanted it to balance, so I've got the reds, the pinks and the purples, so they're all very warm colours, so 3 warm puddles, and then the greens, the turquoises and the blues, so 3 more colder colour puddles. I have decided, because this is going to be a rainbow and there's gold, a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, I've decided to also use some gold in each of my puddles and also some white, because I just felt like a puddle just of greens, for example, wouldn't look that interesting. I think gold is one of those colours, to me it's quite a neutral colour but goes with everything. Gold and purple looks great, gold and green, gold and pink. I'm happy with gold with all of these sets of colours, so I'm going to use that as the common theme throughout the puddles along with white, just to give some detail within each separate puddle, and that will pull all the puddles together. I've used PVA glue and water pouring medium for these to mix with these paints, and I'll put the recipe of that in the description of this video. The first cup I'm going to layer up are all the purpley indigo-y colours. I just want to show you this one colour. Look, can you see the shimmer and the iridescence in this? So what this is the Pearl Violet by Amsterdam with just a hint of the really, really dark purple. And it's given this amazing purple, but with like a pinky sheen to it. It's absolutely beautiful. So, and I'll just show you the consistency as well. Nice and thick. So it leaves a nice trail, a nice trace on the surface, a nice mound on a mound. I mixed all of the paints and then I went through them all to check them, and I found that some of them I had to add a little bit more paint, some of the Amsterdam colours, which I think are just a little bit runnier, but then some of the iridescent colours I had to add some more water to because they're just a lot thicker. So I've started with a spot of white in the bottom of my cup. I'm not going to be using all of this paint. I've deliberately mixed up quite a lot of paint here because I plan on doing something else with it afterwards, the leftovers. So I'm just doing layers on top of each other. Because it's so nice and thick, it just sits beautifully on top of each other, the colours of paint. So I'm just going to add just a hint of gold in there in the middle. Now gold can take over in a painting, so I don't want to add too much. And I think I'm going to add just another little drip of white in there, and also white can really overtake as well. So I'm going for 2 layers of each colour. Right, that's the first cup done. That is looking pretty. Those colours are gorgeous. So that's the purple one done. So I'm going to put that out of the way. So next the pinks. So exactly the same again, just a little bit of white in the bottom. And then I'm going for the iridescent pink next. I should say actually in every group of colours there is an iridescent, at least one iridescent, plus the gold. The canvas I was going to use was this one on top here. It's too small. It's 40 by 50. I thought I wouldn't have too much paint, but seeing these paint pots next to this canvas, I think it's just going to all run off the edge. So I found another canvas. This was a piece I did ages ago, and it's the symbol for friendship. And I quite liked the design, but I messed up with, there was too much, I don't like it, it's not a keeper. There was too much white negative space. I like the theory of it, but not, I don't think I quite pulled it off. So I'm going to pour over this, and this is a 50 centimetre by 60 centimetre canvas. So in terms of putting the paint onto the canvas now, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. So my plan originally was to have a bit of overlap of the puddles, so maybe pour a puddle and then pour another puddle into the edge of that puddle, so there is some overlap. I might do some wrecking of the edges, but what I don't want is it to be too structured. For example, I don't want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want lines. I want it to look more random, more haphazard, but I'm not quite sure how to do that with 6 puddles. It's easier with an odd number. I think I'm just going to put the first puddle down and just see what happens, and I'm just going to have to play it by ear, step by step. My aim is obviously to keep some of every single puddle on this canvas. I don't want to tip a whole puddle off, so I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start here and just see what happens. So it's going to be straight pours. And I'm going to spend quite a long time getting the end of the cup of paint out, because of that little bit of white. You can just see it coming through now. And I just like a little bit of white in the centre of my puddles. Straight away, I absolutely love those colours. That is the gold with those colours, absolutely love that. Right. I'm really not sure what to do, how to do this. Maybe I'll stick with what I know, which is just to do them next to each other, instead of on top of each other. But what I'd quite like to do is have, I'm just thinking about the order I want to lay these down in. So purple, turquoise, orange, blue, pink, green. Okay. Let's go with the turquoise. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Let's put the blue here. Right, straight away, I'm not as happy with the blue one, which is really interesting because I thought that would have actually been one of my favourites. There's definitely a bit of muddying going on. Right, let's pop the orange over here. Right, the colours are down. I now think I don't have enough paint. I've made a mistake. This canvas is too big for this amount of paint, but I've got lots of paint leftovers. So I'm going to mix up some more, layer up some more cups of paint. So I'll be back in a minute. So I always get so angry with myself for mixing up too much paint, but today it's come into its own because I've just managed to mix up a whole nother 6 cups of paint. I've mixed them, I've layered them mostly in the same order as the first 6. I was trying to decide which colours to layer up again, and I just decided I'm going to do them all because I'm going to tip a lot of it off, but that's fine. But if I just do 2 or 3 of them, then the painting will favour more heavily those colours. So I've mixed them all up again. So I can now really enjoy doing this. I can enjoy deciding where to put everything. The puddle that I didn't like particularly was the blue. And I realised, I think it's the blue black, the Pebeo Studio Acrylics blue black. So I've taken that out this time. Also, I wanted to see some more dark green here. I'm missing the dark green. So I actually put the dark green lower down in the cup for this one. So I've been able to look at these and then from that make some decisions about what to do in layering up the next lot. So green, I think I'm going to put the next green one here. I don't really want to put it here because it's next to the turquoise. Yep, so I've got more dark green coming through already, which is great, which is what I wanted. Just going to wait for the white to come through. It's slowly creeping through, but if I can get a little bit of bright white in the centre, I really like that for contrast. And I've got that in all but the blue puddles. There it is. So there's the white coming through. A lot of people use a formula to calculate how much paint to use on the canvas. And in fact, a lot of people have told me their formula when leaving comments. And I do take it on board and I do screenshot it. So I've got that formula to work out how much paint to use. But for some reason, I don't use it. I still just like to wing it somehow. There's something quite nice about mixing the paint up, not really knowing how much you've got, not really knowing what size canvas you're going to end up with. There's something quite nice about that. It might be a bit wasteful. Well, it's not because I use my leftover paints for something else. So it's not wasteful. Right, orange has to go here. Orange next to purple and green is amazing combination. So let's put that here. Right, that is definitely all the paint on the canvas. Right, I'm going to torch it. I can see quite a lot of air bubbles. Right, now what I want to do, I think, is some sort of wrecking in between the puddles, because at the moment they are such separate, distinct puddles. I think I'd like to blend them somehow, but there's just a couple of gaps. So I'm just going to just do a little bit of tilting around just to try get the paint moving and just to try and close up some of there's just 3 little gaps. If I can just get them to close up. Done it. Right, now that is one solid puddle of paint in the centre now. So to wreck this, I'm not going to touch the middle of the puddles because I want to keep those. I just want to add some details in between. I think I do. The only problem is if I do it and I don't like it, it's too late. Okay. Right, I think that's sufficiently wrecked. So now the really messy bit, I'm going to put some gloves on. I'm going to do it. I don't normally wear gloves because I don't like the feeling of them, but I haven't taken my rings off and I'm quite warm and I don't think I'll be able to get them off now, so it's going to have to be gloves. Let's just give this another torch. Right, one of my favourite puddles is now this one. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to tilt towards that way first to try and save some of that purple puddle. If I lose it, I lose it, but I think I'm going to just tilt around, just stretch it out, and then I'll probably end up going off that way first. Right, it's done. Canvas is covered. Wow, what a brightly coloured, I was going to say a mess of paint, but it's what a brightly coloured kaleidoscope. Right, what do I think? I think I really like it. I'm glad I've wrecked it, because otherwise it would just be so regular. I'm glad I've done that. So my question now is, do I want to stretch this more? Do I want to lose some of the paint to try and bring to stretch the central part out? I don't need to keep two of every colour. But do I want two of every colour? I think what I might do is try and lose a bit of this bottom bit here. I'm not so keen on this, the way the green comes off the edge. So if I bring the weight of the paint over towards this side, I think, and then tip it off the bottom. I want to try and keep the turquoise corner nearest my left arm, if I can. So if I bring the weight of what I'm doing is bringing the weight of the paint to about in line here, and then tilting off. If I do it so it's here, everything will go. But if I can bring the weight of the paint over so it's here, I'm hoping just to lose this bit. And it's working well. In fact, let me turn this around so I can try and show you as I'm doing it. So the weight of the paint, I don't want to put my hands over the painting because I'll drip, but the weight of the paint at the moment is about here. So you'll see that this bit should be staying still, whereas the pink and that green should be moving. Yeah, it's the blue above the pink that's moving at the moment. I'm just going to take enough of this off just to get rid of that little edge of pink. Like that, and then pull this back. Right, what do you think? You know, I think I do my craziest ever painting, and then I do another crazy painting. It's a happy painting though. I think I might call this my happy rainbow painting, something like that. Right, I think I'm done. I'm happy with the composition. So I've just realised this is my biggest ever straight pour in terms of the number of cups I've used. So there are 12 cups of paint on this canvas, 12 straight pours on one. I've done an 8, but today was 12, and obviously that was accidentally. I was only intending to do 6. The white, look what's happened to the white. You know, I mentioned I didn't want massive white sections. That white has really puffed up again in the centre as it's stretched out. So actually I'm still putting too much white in the centre. I quite like the white here and maybe the white on the blue, but it's fine, but it's not really what I wanted, all that white. And the same over there. But what a fun, happy, crazy rainbow straight pour this is. Right, let me go in close up. I do still think the purple and the gold are the best combination. I think that's my favourite combination. Look at the cells popping up, the white cells. And then the red, orange. I really like how I've dragged it through. It just breaks it up. I think it makes it a bit more crazy and a real mix of paint, but I think that's probably better than having quite distinct edges. Look at the depth in that. You can see the folds of paint, you can see the depth in it. And then the pink and gold is nice. Again, the white has taken over a little bit. This blue puddle, although the centre there isn't perfect, I might do something with that in a second. This blue puddle I much prefer to the other blue puddle. And that's because I took out that blue-black, the iridescent blue-black. Again, I love gold and purple. And there, do you remember I said I put the white and the yellow next to each other in the centre? Can you see how it glows? It just looks so bright. And what's interesting there is when I poured the cup out, I didn't think I got any white out, but it was obviously there. And then as it's stretched out, it's revealed itself. Really like that. Look at how unusual that is. There's some transparency to some of these turquoise paints, and you can see it there. You can see the layers, the different colours on top of each other. There was a risk of getting brown here with the gold, but no brown. So I'm happy. So this was an interesting one. It will be interesting to see how this dries. So here's the dry painting. I don't know about this one. I'm going to be totally honest and just say I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I love how bold and bright and colourful it is. I love that about it. I don't know. I don't know. Please tell me what you think of this. In hindsight, I was really happy with the wrecking, but I'm now wondering if that was a mistake. Would it have looked better and slightly less chaotic if I hadn't wrecked it? But does the wrecking just add to the chaos of it? Because it is such a chaotic painting, but the colours are amazing. So that deep turquoise in there is just beautiful. I love all the effects of this white. This white is so amazing. It just creates crazy, crazy patterns and cells. I love that glowing bit there, the white next to the yellow. It looks like it's glowing, like molten lava. And then the depth. It's extremely interesting, really, really fascinating. And you keep looking and you just see more details. I guess it's just not quite what I had in mind. I don't know what I had in mind, but it definitely wasn't this. I find it quite difficult to then know whether I actually like something because it's different to how I intended it to be. That's probably my favourite, as it was at the beginning, the gold with the purples. So I think it's another Marmite painting. You're either going to love this or hate this. So let me know what you think. Please do subscribe to my channel. If you like it, do hit the like button, the thumbs up button. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.